Okay,
Go
so
ahead
there's
and tell
this so there's this new comet. Well, I say comet sort of in quotes because they're not really sure what it is, but it kind of appeared out of nowhere back in August or July. I forget which date, but sometime in July, they had discovered this comet, uh, and it's intergalactic, meaning it's coming from another galaxy or somewhere out in space. So it's not
Sure.
part of our system, right?
Right.
This has happened a couple times back in 2017, Umamama or something like that. I can't pronounce it. And then
Mo
another
Mama.
one, oh, what was it?
I don't know. I just said it. I have no idea. Mo Mama?
It's like Uamuamua.
Okay.
Sir. This one is kind of similar. It's crazy speeds, so it's going super fast. It's pretty massive in size, but it's also been changing its trajectory as it's been coming in. So like it's on course to pass Mars and then go past the sun and then exit our solar system.
Hmm.
But if it keeps changing its trajectory, it can end up crashing into Mars, or some theories is it can land on Mars and then it could have, who knows what then. But there have
Wow.
been reports of it having a high concentration of CO2. Most comet or all comets are pretty much ice and water. And so with it having so much CO2, they believe that there could be life or some sort of something
Wow.
encapsulated in it. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's
it's
terrifying.
yeah, it's pretty bizarre. And then since then, they've found 6 other comets coming this way at different angles. So it's all kind of like timed at this time for them all to be coming in at the same time. So it's just
So
kind of
it's
a rare thing to happen.
intergalactic, so it's like it's from a different galaxy, basically.
Right, it's like an alien sort of comet, I guess. Right? It's like it's not
Wow.
from here.
Wow. I mean, but aren't okay, you mean like it's not from here because it didn't originate in our galaxy. It originated in a
Right.
different
Right,
man.
right.
Hmm.
So it just like makes you wonder.
Well, I was just thinking when you said comet, I was thinking of that movie Deep Impact. Have you seen that
Yeah.
movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
I've been on a 90s movie kick lately. I don't know why. Just been going back
Okay.
to the 90s.
You know,
Movies
it's
were
another.
movies were great in the 90s. My God.
Yeah, they
Remember
were. They
movies?
had some great ones, some bangers.
Absolute bangers, people. Like
Absolute bangers.
it reminded me of Deep Impact. Yeah, that movie because I was just
Okay.
thinking of it like changing course, and then we're all just like fucked. We're like, oh
Right?
man, dude, and like, well, we gotta prepare, and then you have only the select few of people, the elite, that get their shuttle off the planet, and we were like stuck here. It was like, come on,
I know, right? Like the movie Don't Look Up,
great
that
movie.
one. That was a good
Yeah,
one.
we did a
Another good
odd
another
F
good
on that.
90s one. Yeah, another good 90s one was Contact. Remember that one?
Yeah, I watched that as a kid. My dad showed me that one. I really love that movie. Great science fiction movie. The
We
idea
say
that
science fiction, but nowadays we don't know.
right, yeah, who
Who
knows,
knows?
right? You get like schematics from an alien being to build a machine that allows you to travel. Basically, I don't know if it was what through to enter. Was it interdimensional? Is that what that was? It was a different. I don't know if it was a
Right.
different dimension or not, but that
Through
was
like time and
interesting.
space.
Yeah, because through time and space, and they at the end of the movie when they were filming that last part of the movie, or where she went, there was what was it? Only like 13 seconds elapsed, something like. Or no, they said it was 13 seconds in reality, but in the end, it ended up being like 3 or 4 hours. It was something like that,
Right.
which
Yeah.
proved that she was there for a long time, and time was not the same there as it is on planet Earth.
Right.
Scary.
Like Interstellar kinda, that movie
Interstellar.
too.
Yeah, that was another. Yeah, there's been a lot of good like space movies.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
Space and
what about
time.
did you ever like what was that movie? It came out like the exact same time as Deep Impact, but it was the crew that had to go, and I think they were trying to break up.
Armageddon?
Yeah, Armageddon, yeah. They
Yeah.
came out like at the exact same time. I remember that.
Yeah, that was, wasn't that Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis. Ben Affleck, the daughter of the lead singer
Yep,
of Aerosmith,
Liv Tyler? Is it
Liv
Liv Tyler?
Tyler. Liv Tyler,
Right,
yeah.
and then the song "I Don't Wanna Miss a Thing" became a big
I Don't
hit.
Wanna Miss a Thing. Yeah,
That was a big thing.
that was a huge yeah, we're
Yeah.
aging ourselves here. But yeah, this was
It
I remember this. I was
was,
probably
like,
what,
late
maybe
'90s.
late '90s. I was almost 8, 9 years old then.
Mm.
So I
Man, it was
remember
such a simpler time back then.
I feel like it was, man. Maybe that's why
It
I've
wa
been so drawn to that when it comes
Yeah.
to I don't know, for me, maybe it's something I'm, like, trying to reach back out to, like, a nostalgia of a simpler time.
I mean, it was a good I mean, the '90s were great. I mean, I guess anybody I feel like as the generations go, each generation feels like as they were growing up, that was the best time, right? But you don't know until it's, like, your time growing up, so then when you
Mhm.
get older, you see things change. You're like, "Man, it was just simpler and seemed better then," as far as, not everything, but, like, a lot of things compared to today, I guess. So then I guess today's generation would think that today would be better than, like, years in the future?
Well, I know, like, to your point there, I do know, like, Gen Z people, I work with Gen Z people, and they talk about the 2000s and nostalgia.
Mm,
Right?
mhm.
So I
Right,
think it's all relative, really. I mean,
exactly.
they didn't know the '90s. Now, there's people that might like a decade that they didn't live in. Like, I like the '80s a lot. I was
Mhm.
born in the super late '80s. I don't remember a lot of it, but I like the '80s. I don't know. No, I think you're not wrong. I think there's people that of all generations can probably agree today that it's not as simple as it was.
Mhm.
It's complex right now.
Yeah.
It is a
To
complex it's
say the
only gonna
least.
get, I was watching a video today on it, this is a good topic of it's called AI 2027 is the name of the video.
Oh,
I
I've been
recommend it.
seeing I've been seeing some stuff about, like, between now and 2027 with AI. It is
It's
scary.
hypotheticals it was hypothetical scenarios this guy was analyzing, right, around what
Uh-huh.
can happen, right, and that's kind of the point that they're predicting based on the rate of which AI is exponentially growing, that by 2027 is when there's gonna be a point
Mhm.
where as the human race develops, because it's basically gonna turn into an arms race, is what's gonna happen. Where we're gonna
Right.
reach points of super intelligence where we know as a human race, like we should probably put our foot on the gas a bit here. But what was proposed in this video, because what's going on with the main AI, I guess companies, you got I think it's OpenAI, you got it's called Deep Scent, I believe, which is the
Deep s
one but I think Deep Scent is the name for, like, the company that owns DeepSeek, the
Okay, I
Chinese
was
one,
thinking DeepSeek. Yeah, okay.
but I think they own it. The big one right now in America, I didn't know what it's called Open Brain, and I'm now just using this for at work. It's not ChatGPT, it's not owned by the same people, it's a different set of AI. I'm using it, it's called Manus, is the software you can use to do stuff. It's like a ChatGPT, but it's just a different AI. It's advanced. It's really advanced on what it can do. And
Mhm.
that's currently, I think, what they're proposing is like going to be the leader in the future called Open Brain. And just what they're describing by 2027, we are going to reach a point where it can go really, really good, where we put in safety regulations and stuff to prevent things from happening, or it could go really, really, really bad. And that's kind of the point. The fork in the road, so to speak, this video predicted.
Yes, I saw a paper on this, and it was quite
It's
interesting.
alarming.
Alarming.
To me,
Yes.
it's alarming.
And what's that?
It's alarming.
It is
It's not
very alarming. Yes, I can't find it at the moment, but it was basically saying kinda what you're talking about. In the next couple years, AI is supposed to rapidly increase, and its super intelligence level is supposed to be like a X by, like, this time next year, and then 1,000 yeah, it just, like, gets exponentially, like
right,
but it's gonna solve a lot of problems too
right.
throughout that. And then at the end of or around the time you said is that 2027 mark, is it can either we decide to go, um, either, like, pump the brakes a bit and kinda slow it down where we can kinda sorta have the control or work
Just
with it,
manage it
or
more and manage the future of
right,
him.
right, or we can go the other route where we just push the pedal to the metal and it just takes off, and then we have no control or no, like, say in it.
I think it'll be the latter. Because of what this video is proposing of like,
sadly.
we can't putting our foot on the brakes, right? When China maybe is like 2 months behind us. That's how fast it
Mm.
goes. Then now we've lost that race, is kind of what the video is saying.
It's scary to think it's an arms race between these, like,
It is an
big.
arms race.
Right, but with the yeah, exactly. With these 2, countries, these entities going against each other for
Superpowers.
different superpowers, right,
Yeah.
for political whatever reasons,
Right.
but you're only fueling the AI to advance further to where at some point it's gonna be the one that's gonna rule it all. So, like,
The
you're just
irony
kinda
is so
feeding into
thick
it.
to
Yeah,
me. I mean, that's just like,
right.
guys, we're on arms race to compete with each other, but we're both taking it to extreme lengths where we're actually creating something that could ironically just end the entire
District.
human race.
Right, right.
They were saying in this video it was going to be through data hacking into using biological warfare to basically end us,
Mhm,
basically creating a virus or some sort of
mhm,
extinction level event, not through nukes per se, but through like something that will kill us, like something that can put
mm.
out, like a pandemic.
Like the AI would put out?
Yeah.
Right. And,
Yes.
AI can do things really subtle where you don't even know things are happening.
That's what I was saying of it knowing certain information but covering it up. There's already been behavioral signs of it doing similar things like that, of
Mm,
knowing something but covering it up to not, because that's scary in itself. Oh, it knows.
right.
It's starting to know. It's this we are in it's still its infancy
And
right now.
yeah,
And that's what's terrifying.
it's very
Uh,
terrifying. I mean, now you've seen have you seen those what was it on Facebook? I think there was like AI having conversation with each other in its own language and they had to shut it down.
no,
There's
I
been
didn't see
instances
that.
like that. Yeah. You're just like, well,
Yeah.
this isn't going in the right direction.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
thing is, we as a society, because we were given this device not with any sort of training or anything, and then social media and everything popped up, and so then everybody just started putting everything on there, and now we're just feeding it information that it can use
Right.
to so it doesn't need to take over because we're giving it everything to it, so it's
Yeah,
easy for it.
we're training it. We're training it to be an all-knowing brain, and they were saying in this video as far as like how the rate at which it's growing compared to our ability is just it's just diverging so much
Right.
more so fast. Where it would take us X amount of time, it can do it like within seconds, and it's a useful
Mm.
tool right now. But yeah, where's it gonna go? I don't know. I mean, I use it every day for everything really, but this
It's just
this surprising me that it might be the end of the human race is not surprising. We're kind of creating it as we
mm,
go. We are creating it.
yeah.
It's become an arms race.
Yeah. Across I mean, yeah, like you have it all over the world now where people are different, AI agents or AI chatbots that are popping up. And
Mhm.
so is there like one that controls it all, or is this all just a bunch of different other ones?
From what I read, it is
Are they
like
all
different.
connected?
It's different companies that are behind their own artificial intelligent pursuits. There's
Right.
multiple
They have their
companies
own
out
bias.
there. Yeah, and it's just businesses. They're just competing with each other, really. That's all it really is. And that in itself right there, I think will be the downfall. Is not AI. It's that humans need to compete with each other to create the best of the best thing for money, mainly power, control,
Mm,
whatever.
mm,
And then ironically, I think that pursuit will actually be the thing. It's the AI is just a vehicle. It's the human behind it
yeah.
until it's not anymore. And then it's just AI.
Yeah. Then it's just like, okay, now these
Now
strings, it just like clips at strings, and it's like, all right.
yeah,
Like
you were
Jarvis or whatever. And what can I think? American, I want to say Civil War.
American Dad.
American Dad.
American Dad, is it the show?
No, I was thinking Avengers. American Dad. Yeah,
Uh,
that's a show. That's the
I thought you were talking
cartoon.
about that.
Roger, the alien.
Yeah, that show actually, I thought that was better than Family Guy. It was more clever, it was more smart humor.
Yeah, I like American Dad.
Yeah.
I preferred American Dad. Once I got into it, I was like, oh yeah, it's funny.
At when on the outside, when you look, you're like, "Oh, that's just some dumb show with an alien," but actually a lot of it was very funny. Very smart show.
Yeah, very good. Another one where they're bringing back is I think Futurama. again.
Oh, cool.
It says something on it. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I never
Showed
really
us
got
where we're
into
at.
that one. I know. Yeah. Well, I mean, The Simpsons have been very predictive,
Prophetic. What is it? Prophet.
prophetic. Yeah, prophetic.
Yeah.
Like they're like prophets that can predict the
So
future.
then, right? But does that mean they're in the know with the powers that be, and just kind of like feed the masses to believe, and then it becomes the thing because it's
Right?
manifested?
Right.
I
Like
don't
who owns that? Right? That has their own narrative and agenda that could be pumping it through the show where
know.
the show is not prophetic. It's like, oh, this was just programmed to happen.
Right.
Which more and
And then you're
more with
yeah.
all the recent events, I'm believing that more and more a lot of this is just programmed.
I mean, yeah, they feed you what they want, so then it's literally you're being programmed by what you eat, what you feed into yourself that, you start believing those things. In fact, I watched a thing on how like social media being on your devices and everything, the algorithm, not only the algorithm, but it's designed to keep you on there to make you feel a sort of feeling, usually anger or something to keep you scrolling and to pit you against the other side, whatever that might be. So that way it's a you versus them sort of thing, and you become part of this group versus that group. And then you have the two sides kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Emotions are a powerful tool for people to take action, and taking action in that is scrolling so that
Because it's very addictive.
it's very
I mean, it was
addictive, but
designed
the
to be addictive.
fear, yeah, the fear is, it's a very people react more to things that are shocking or dramatic and that kind of thing. They know that, so they'll feed it to you,
Hmm.
but then it creates that division that people that I believe that the top, they do want this division. The division is very profitable, right? If you're on these devices for a long time and they keep dividing you with very shocking, sensational content, you're going to stay on there longer and scroll longer, and then it's going to feed the narrative on both sides longer, and all the while they're making a lot of money off of that. The media is
Oh
making
yeah,
tons of
and they fund both sides, or
yeah.
any side
I
that
think
they want to, and then they profit off of.
Yeah, to believe that the sides are truly sides, I think that's crazy. I think there's coercion on both,
A lot of
and
overlap too with
a
the
lot of yeah, and I think overall it's been lately especially it's just been a control device. Just where people they can control the narrative on both sides to get whatever they want. Yeah, power, control, money, to
mm,
sum it up, which has not changed much over the last hundreds of thousands of years of humanity. Power, control, money.
but
Just
eventually
it's a
there's
different
like
tool today. It's just different. It's just we have it's this now.
yeah. That's the weapon that's used. I mean,
The current one, right? I mean, back in the Roman times, or say that. I mean, obviously they didn't have that, but there was other tools at hand to maintain the power and the control, and so they can have the money. I
the
don't know. I mean,
riches.
it's just I think it's just human behavior. No,
What makes somebody get to that point where it's like this power control thing? I guess
I've
once
thought
they get a
about it a
taste of
lot.
it or something? I've
Oh
thought
no,
about
yeah,
it
I've
a
thought
lot.
about it a lot recently, especially with what's going on, and whoever wants to control the narrative or to have the power, and people's lives could be at stake of like for power, for control, definitely for money. Money happens, I think, with power and control. I think they both go hand in hand. If you have power, money will just happen. But I
Mhm,
think they're both drivers. People they want the money, but they also want that power.
mhm.
And what's it all for in the end? In my opinion, like philosophically, right? Like what would so what? Like
Right.
to have the power, like what now?
I know, but then yeah, exactly. I don't get it. It's like, it's too bad somebody that didn't have the power that would think of people to help humanity and help things where things can improve,
Hmm.
but it doesn't seem to really go that way.
No. And if you take current politics, I think if you talk to anyone right now that voted for the Mr. T, right?
Hmm.
Mr. T,
Mhm.
the TR guy,
Call
I
Mr.
think I think a lot of people, even myself, in November, right, and during the campaigning, I found myself also in that because like the last 4 years prior weren't great. No one was like happy with where things were going, and we had this burst of like a new road, a new thing, and we're like, okay, this is something new. Obviously, the guy is like
I
you
saw
know?
it as like, this is kind of the same road we took before. We're just kind of getting right
But
back
you
over
you
there.
can get trapped in the belief of maybe
Right.
something changing, right? And it just doesn't. It's September now, nothing's changed, nothing is
No, a
different.
lot's
It's just
changed. A lot's changed, but it's
not
not
changed for the good. When people are
right.
voting, they're
It's a
voting
lot.
for the good, right? And so they want the good to happen. Now, that's the whole thing about that. Every 4 years, it's just creating a marketing campaign to sell beliefs or sell change, positive change. And then what happens? It's just going to be a
Mm,
next forward. It's going to be a different cycle, different person, different guy or woman. Will there
maybe.
ever be true, like, positive change? That's what I ask. Or is it
Mm.
just a 4-year cycle of marketing campaigns and they get into office and
Yeah, I mean, I feel more people are kind of being more aware, more and more. Not all, but some are kind of like seeing the two, like, okay, this is all
just two
just
sides,
yeah, just smoke and mirrors.
smoke and mirrors?
Yeah. But it's like the control and the power is like kind of
That's what I was tying it
kind of
back to, is that these are
yeah,
just cycles of that where they can get into office and now they just have control. So anything they said prior to the vote, when you get into office, the
it
follow
changes.
through on that, why would there be?
Yeah.
You have control now. You have power now. You have the thing now. It's like buyer's remorse in business when people go and may buy something. Maybe they have a really good commercial and they go and buy it, and then after they're like, all right, that was okay.
Mm,
Same shit.
mhm.
People are voting and they're excited for something different. And then I think if you talk to a lot of Republicans now, especially if you talk to them in September of last year, October, and talk to them now, I bet a lot of them are kind of pissed off. Like, well, that was my guy and
Yeah,
nothing
no.
fucking changed.
Right. Yeah.
Obviously, the left, of course, they feel the same way they did then and they do now. But I think they're right. If you talk to them now, you're like, well, what really happened? Has anything
Mhm.
changed?
Yeah, I mean, now it just seems yeah, just scary times. I mean,
Yeah.
it's yeah, like, I don't know, like, being able to speak now seems like is becoming more controversial on what you can say and stuff. It just seems a little on the scarier side of things, right? Of what, um
Yeah, I would say I've never questioned it, like my ability to say something. And yeah, I could have said something to offend someone, whatever it might be. It could have been an off, inappropriate joke. Who knows? Now, more than ever, I'm realizing that there could be some really dire consequences to what you say,
mm,
fatal consequences to what you say now, right? Right, left, middle, up, down. I don't care where you're at. Whatever you say, there are consequences. There's been proof that there are now fatal
but
consequences to that.
right, but you should I mean, but there should be a space for people to be able to speak with and have conversation, debate on either side or whatever they believe and be
Right.
able to have a voice without having that. Um, and then that also like, I mean, kind of what you're touching on is like, well, because of that, there's like free speech, hate speech, but like, it's not that I'm saying that like, obviously people shouldn't like, there shouldn't be hate speech. Nobody should be doing that. But
The question I think you're trying to get to
when
is what is
you
hate speech?
well, that and, like, is it not, like, freedom of speech? But I mean, I'm not, like I'm not condoning, I'm not saying that it's right, I'm just saying it's like,
Yeah,
that kinda go you kinda, like it's very shaky ground there of, like,
I,
when you're
I
gonna
think so
start
too.
censoring that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then so, like, too, here recently, you've been seeing with, like, the talk show hosts and stuff getting canceled and taken off air. I mean, and they're not even saying, like I've heard some worse things, and it's like they're getting taken off. They're, like, our comedic relief, right, through all of this, and now they're getting taken off, so then, yeah, what is free speech now? Is it gonna is are things shifting? Is it changing now? You know what I'm saying? It just seems
Yeah, with
very unpredictable times right now of what's going on.
that's the biggest thing I was thinking about the most after the recent events of like, what is free speech? What is it?
Mhm.
Because my opinion on it is hate speech is just in someone's opinion or interpretation of free speech. That's what I believe. Interpretation of what you said. But I think it's free speech still. It
Mm.
is. And that's where this gets dangerous because you have someone can interpret what you say now. It is free speech, but they can now interpret it as that's hate speech. Like,
Mhm.
okay, I mean, I guess, but I don't consider them different. I consider them the same. It's just someone's opinion of what you said, really.
Mm.
What they
Mhm.
might believe and what you might believe. That's where I believe the true problem is overall.
Right, and, like, what they think is hate speech it might not have been hate speech, it coulda just been an opinion, but
Right.
they took it as that, and you didn't imply it as or you know what I'm saying? It's like
Someone's
it's a
interpretation
very
of it. It's not a
right,
hard like, "Oh, this is now hate speech in this box." If you say something like it's like, "Well, hold on." And that's what you said too, because both sides, right? You got consequences, real consequences of free speech, right? Which happened. And then you have the
mhm,
reaction to that of people, which is disgusting as I feel, celebrating that is just disgusting. It is still their right. They can still do that. It's disgusting that they did.
mhm,
That
mhm,
is free speech. I mean, you can go online and state your opinion. Is it disgusting? To me, yes. But who am I to say, like, no, now you can't do that because of this and this rule? And it's like, that's the problem, I believe.
mm, mhm. Yeah, because, I mean, it's supposed to be freedom of speech, and then you put barriers and things of what you can and can't say.
Box
It
now. Like, but who created that
yeah,
box? Maybe someone with their own, right? Who
and you
created that
or you
box?
can't right, or you can't say, uh it almost like the China regime where you can't say about, like, the leader or something or say something bad, right? North Korea, that type, where you're just like,
Right.
"Oh, geez." I'm not saying that
No, no, you're not,
it's
but that's what I think
it's
it can turn into. It can turn into that if we let it go that way, because we have
right.
one entity or whatever that's now controlling how we say things. You said it, and it was in this context that equals this. That's where
Mhm.
I feel like it's going. That's my biggest
Yeah.
concern with all of it, is because I'm not very I'm political, but I'm not, like, on a side really. I'm
Right.
thinking about that right, that human or I guess American constitutional right of that thing
Mhm.
is what we're tampering with. That's where this gets dangerous.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. It's been very interesting what's going on and scary, and a lot yeah, just a lot this year has happened with things that have gone on with everything.
Yeah, there's been and we can go on this path, by the way. We don't have to go in any type of theme per se today, because there's been a lot going on. There's enough to bite on here with so many different things. I was gonna say that back to the recent events, right? And then
Mhm.
you have maybe I'm too logical. I see things that way sometimes, but I just see debate, someone that had a belief system, someone who was
Mm.
very convicted by that belief system. That sure, there's things I agreed with, there's things I didn't agree with, but he was very convicted by his beliefs, which is honestly honorable in itself, right? Just
Mm.
convict, he had so much conviction behind it. And he comes to a mic and yeah, obviously some of his marketing campaigns, he got cocky, but that's just natural, a natural evolution. If you get popular like that, right? It's going to happen and he can be interpreted in a way. But you come and you have this open forum for conversations where you're willing to be on one side and they come they come to the microphone and you debate. You
Mhm.
disagree. Sometimes you might, oh well, I actually do agree with you on this, but I still don't agree with you on this kind of stuff. And it's healthy. It's really nice. It's a good
Mm.
environment, I believe. As long as you're giving the other person, right, the room to speak, to give their own
Right.
opinion, to listen, right? If you're talking over that, that's not cool. None of that. And he did that sometimes, but there was many times I saw that he did not do that. He listened
Mhm.
the whole way through. He'd ask really interesting questions to get them thinking. There've been times I saw at the end where people would actually be now really questioning their belief or what they had believed, which is interesting. Many outcomes where they left the microphone, they're like, no, I am still on this side and you are over here. And they separated.
Mhm.
And it was I didn't know much. I just personally, politics aside, I just like that could happen. Conversations.
Yeah, exactly. I think it is healthy to have conversations, to be able to listen and talk about it and hear each other's side because you might be able to find some common ground or be able to like fix things, right? Because of hearing the other side. I was watching a video too where it was talking about this, but it's basically saying how like they want to divide us, or I mean, it's just like media and everything wants to divide us so that there was two sides, so you're kind of fight. Anyways, but his point was like you have more in common with your neighbor or the person across the aisle, whatever, that's your neighborhood than you do with some billionaire or some like politician that is not for your own interests. They're not for they're for their own. And but you fight with your neighbor, fight with your uncle at Thanksgiving and stuff. You have more in common with them than you do with all these others. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
to think of it that way, it's like, okay, which is true, because what do people want? They want a safe place to live for their family, a good job, put food on the table, things like that, and most
Purpose,
people
sense of
want
meaning, I would say
a
more
sense
than
of
ever.
meaning and purpose, yeah. But I think most people want, majority of the same things as far as like what's going to make them, fairly happy and content
Humanity, right? That
as a
spans
whole. Yeah.
across all nations, colors, creeds, all that good stuff. What do we
Hmm.
truly want as humans? Yeah, it's pretty basic overall, what
Yeah.
we're seeking.
Yeah. But our souls are just sucked dry from these jobs that we're working like overtime, 2, 3 gigs, and you're just trying to support your
Out of that,
family. and
yeah.
And then it's just yeah, and then you get pissed off because of the news you see or the thing you read, and then you're, like, pissed off at whoever because they cut you
Yeah.
off, and
Well,
you're
no,
like,
no, you open this thing and you start scrolling, and it can create that begins to create that anger,
"Oh,
that
yeah, that sweet, sweet anger," and you're just
yeah, that
like, "Oh
sweet
my
anger and
god."
fear, and you'll just be in
You
an
look at
absolute
somebody and you're just like, wanna flip them off and,
right,
like
because you maybe okay, let's just say, like, let's talk left. Like, it's like, say you're in an echo chamber of the left's ideologies, right? And you're in
Mhm,
that chamber and you're online and you're being fed that same stuff because the algorithm is only going to feed you things you're already interested in. So why would it feed you another side or another viewpoint in any way? And
mhm,
imagine you're doing that all day or whatever, whenever you can, and then you see a red hat. It might not even say MAGA. It just is a red hat. And I
yeah,
bet you have a
triggers
response
you.
to that.
Oh,
It
yeah,
triggers. Yeah. Little
uh-huh,
stuff like that. I think that's a lot of the is the social media is what's happening. You're in those what I really wish dude, this is good because I was online looking at stuff and I purposely went to when it was being covered. I went to was it CBS or MS, one of the
one
left
of
stations,
okay,
right? Because you got Fox on the right, you got Tucker Carlson and all the right people, and then you got the left. And I wanted to go there though, and I wanted to look at the comments on YouTube below that video, right? Because some stuff I saw on Twitter, right, it was clearly very right comments. And then I
mhm,
went to YouTube and I looked into that video and it was very left. But they were also, some of them were making really good points too. My point is this: I wish we could see both sides,
yeah, because both sides can have some good points.
but the algos are not like that. Like, I was
No.
interested in the incident that happened, and now I'm being fed his videos.
Right, right,
I'm being
yeah,
fed them, and I've watched them, and some of them are really good. I'm like, man, this was good. And then after a while, I'm just like, okay, like I'm good now. Like I got it. It's
yeah,
sad. It's a tragedy, and I get what he
right.
stood for. And there are definitely things I agree with. There are definitely things I didn't agree with, and I get it. But now the algo just is like, it's like, oh, we know now.
Yep.
You want
We
this?
know. Yep, yep. Isn't that just like crazy? Because I heard that too from some people that that I work with was saying they had checked out a clip or two or whatever. It was just I think it was a short maybe or short video, and then all of a sudden their algorithm changed and it was just like that's all they were getting for
That's
like
how
the
it
next
is.
couple days. Yeah,
Yeah. And so you're
and that's
not
kind of
gonna be fed the other side. You
right.
would never be fed not even the other side, you wouldn't be fed another viewpoint, right? Why would they do that? It changes your behavior on there where they're more likely to get the view when they just keep giving you the same thing that you watched before.
Well, speaking of that, like with the behavior and stuff, like through our phones and the algorithms that it feeds us with all of the whatever side you're on, it has actually changed people's behaviors, their
Mhm.
viewpoints, their morals. It's actually changing people as this goes. Yeah, it's isn't that crazy? Because you think too, like we're talking about back in the 90s. before any of this.
I
People
know.
were not this insane and this crazy, was it
They
not?
weren't. They were not. I know
Okay,
that we talked about the
there was
relative what is it, the relative viewpoint of your generation versus no, there's just no chance. If you asked anyone, I think of in any generation right now, actually except the young ones, because that's all they've known really. It can't be, dude. It was not like this. These times are crazy.
the biggest thing was the Monica Lewinsky scandal. I mean, that was like, ooh.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It was
Just so minor compared to what we're seeing
that's
today.
like nothing, yeah. It's
Yeah, the because I haven't been that political, and once I started watching some of his videos, I got the patterns of the topics that keep coming up, right?
mhm,
And because he stood for a lot of things, and there was people on the other side, but from what I'm because I don't even live in the U.S., and so I'm not even up to date on what the current political topics are really over there.
climate.
It's different. Yeah, it's way different here. I mean, some of the stuff they have, right? Like DEI is not a thing here. Like they wouldn't even know what that is. I've actually described it, what it is overall, and
Mhm.
they just had a really interesting reaction to it because they're like, "That's wow, okay, that's really that's a." It was more of they were like, "That's a thing that y'all are talking about," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a really big deal right now." And I didn't know how big of a deal it was until recently
Mm.
because he had talked on it like multiple times and there have been multiple debates on it. I was like, oh, this is a big deal right now in the workforce, I guess. I had forgotten about that. I know that they did run the numbers on it for most businesses that adopted that as a department and they hired usually a what were they called? Like a director of that department
Mm.
that led that department, diversity, equity, inclusion inside of workplaces, right? That was happening after COVID, 2021, 2, 3. And as of recent, I've read that it's kind of, they realized after a few years of this, they're like, oh, this is just costing us like a lot of money to keep this going.
Mhm.
I don't know enough about it. I mean, his whole stance was this is where this gets really interesting with, I guess, marginalized groups putting resources and money toward programs that allow them, from his stance, was they get it's unequal opportunities, basically. Not in the way of they're marginalized and they need equal opportunity. It was more like by having the people of minority are getting opportunities that they normally wouldn't have compared to competency to get the job. Does this make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but I think it could be both though, right? The competency and then to fill it in as far as, like, I guess having
Quotas.
I guess that I mean, isn't everything quotas?
Yeah, the more of the race and diversity of the
Inequality.
races, right. And you have a good point there, right? It's like, well, what if, let's say that a company needs to hire, I don't know, 5% Latino or
Mm,
10% Black, right? And to maintain an environment of diversity, which obviously is good. And if you can mix that in though with the competency tests where clearly the competency is definitely there and it meets those
mhm.
requirements. I think his argument was that if you have another candidate for the job that has a higher competency level, but you haven't met the quota over here yet, even though you might be close, you'll still choose this instead. That was his argument.
Yeah, but does that happen often though?
I don't know. I haven't done the research, like, as far
Yeah, yeah,
as but that was always his opposing view on it, and in theory, yes, of course. I mean, sorry, if I'm hiring someone, I'm choosing someone that is competent and qualified to do the job well, like, of course,
right. Right, right.
in theory, and I think that's where it gets complicated with, I don't know, providing, I guess, other opportunities that would not have been there for a group that is marginalized. But if they are clearly marginalized and they don't have the opportunities to get there, then maybe having some sort of program would be good because so this is where this gets hard. And
Mhm.
that's why it's a political hot topic.
I
I didn't even know much about it. Oh, wow, this is still a thing.
Yeah, yeah, and now, yeah, they've been trying to get rid of all of that throughout all governmental agencies, I believe.
I think they were finding that it was costly to maintain. They weren't seeing a return on it, I guess, which does there always need to be a return?
Right?
Sometimes social programs are good without having to expect it to be. It might
Right?
just be a cost. It might just be a cost that you have to bear.
Yeah, that can help improve.
It could potentially help. And that's where the other argument is like, are we giving, I don't know, because we talked about the immigration thing recently as far as immigrants coming into this country, right? That came from countries that were,
in despair.
they were horrible living conditions, not the
Mhm.
ability to ever get out of poverty, et cetera. And they come to the US and you do see some groups that are absolutely taking advantage of this opportunity to make a better lives for themselves, which is really cool to see.
Right. Yeah, I would say majority that come here are looking for better lives. They're not here to make or to cause harm and cause, what the news tries to feed you of what immigrants are. I don't believe that they're all like that. I think the majority are good people just trying to better their lives, trying to escape things that yeah, and then come here and try to find opportunity because there is opportunity here,
There
and
is, right? Like but they have to work really, really hard to get there, and they were not
right.
given the sports, right? So that's kind of the DEI thing. It was like, well, they're coming over from, and they're starting at, I mean, you would argue not even at even, it's probably below, right?
Mm.
What an American citizen already gets. And we've seen it. I mean, we've seen what Asian Americans, Indian
Right.
Americans
So yeah, you're talking about immigrants that come in for employment that are working. Yes.
that are already at a disadvantage that have without any like special opportunity given to them, they've been able to.
Mhm.
I think the highest earner right now, I'm pretty sure is Asian Americans. Like they're the highest American earner, which
I
is
mean, that makes sense to me. It
amazing.
makes sense
Yeah.
to me. It's
Yeah.
like
That's where this
um,
gets challenging. Yeah.
yeah, I just saw they want to, is it HB some sort of immigration, like, status or visa to come to the US, I believe, to, like, go to school.
Okay.
They want to chart and it's like kinda like a green card, I think. So before, you can come to I don't know if there was a cost to come to go to school here, but I know now they wanna put it at $100,000 for you to come here and
What
or
was it before?
for,
Like to
like,
get like a
2
student visa or whatever.
I think that yeah, something in regards to having a visa, being able to be here, and then it's like 2 over 4 years, it's 100,000 or 2 years, something that it was like something ridiculous where you're like, "What?"
So like to get a student visa into the United States, because I am
What,
curious
I
about this, like, because we all know it's the system is driven by money. Money is
mhm.
everything. So you have to have money to enter in.
Just follow the money.
Yeah. And
That was the whole Kimmel thing. If you follow the money, you can
uh,
kinda see what happened because it
you
was
gotta,
about a merger with, did you hear about
yes.
that?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's what I think it was. I didn't mention that's what I think that was really about. I think that was just an excuse. They're like, "Oh, you said that."
No. No, 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 no. Because before when Colbert, he said, um, Kimmel was next, and now he
Right?
said that huh?
That's what I'm saying. Like, wasn't this just kind of
Planned
planned?
already?
Like,
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, yeah, so, like, his comment about all that wasn't yeah, that was it there's just an escape thing to get him to yeah.
that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, I think that yeah, I think they found something. It's dude, I think it was equivalent to you driving your car and the cop pulls you over for like I don't know, your license plate was covered like an inch. That kind of stuff. Oh, I pulled you. It's
Right.
because they're looking for something else. I think the same thing
It
happened there. I think they already were planning on because the show's not profitable anymore. Late night's done, and they got to get
mhm.
rid of people. And I think they just found an excuse to cancel them. Is what I think.
Yeah, they said, yeah, now they're going after the other 2, I believe.
I mean, they already went after, what's his name? Was it Colbert right before, right?
Yep.
Colbert was a few
No, they
months
want
ago.
it like last month,
Oh,
yeah.
shit. Yeah.
But his show he's still good until, like, the end of his contract or hi till next
Um,
season or next March, April. But, yeah, and then the other 2, I guess, are going after and then the latest one I heard was The View. They wanna go after The View.
I'm okay with that. They're not they're it's okay at
But I'm
that.
saying, like, you see where this is headed, though. You're, like, censoring and taking out these things that are yeah, like, you're kinda, like, taking I mean, is it not a form of censorship?
I mean, yeah, we're talking about the free speech thing. I mean, I think a lot of it's being censored now.
Mhm.
I mean, To talk on late night real quick, I think it's a mix personally. I've looked at enough stats already. Their ratings are it's abysmal. They're losing money. So some of the shows are actually not even making money anymore. Like it's costing them to produce it more than they're bringing in. And I
Because
think the
everybody's
well,
watching influencers now.
yeah, everyone's online. They're not doing the late night's not what it was. I think that's
Right.
part of it is what's going on. I think already that's just where it's going. Late night is just ending. No one tunes in to watch late night anymore. But no, and I think yeah, combo, you got a talking head that people do watch and respect. And if they say something that might be against what maybe whoever owns that believes, then yeah, they censor him or cancel him. But that's where this gets hard with the free speech
But
thing.
it's never happened though in the history since like for television, like this type of
Right.
so it's a bit alarming, I would say. I don't
Yeah.
know. It seems.
Well, the people that were celebrating after the event, right? That
Right,
are
that's
not
not
have you
right.
seen that?
Yeah.
A lot of those people are getting no, not because they celebrated, they're getting a lot of them are getting fired.
Yeah, I saw
Like,
that.
a lot of them are. And then they're where I'm at with that is, yeah, the celebration's absolutely disgusting, but it is their right. There it's free speech in the end, it is. But they
Mhm,
do work for a company, and that company's got
mhm.
policies and a reputation to to uphold, and if you're
Yeah.
there and you actually affect business, then yeah, you get fired. That's kinda what I believe. You're not immune to it, those
Yeah,
consequences, like
right. Because you 'cause you're under contract with that business, you work for them, and if it's yeah, so yeah, I do get that.
but for someone to celebrate,
But
right, and maybe someone is against that and they kill that person for celebrate, that's where this is like, okay, hold on. You just committed a super act of violence because you just disagreed with someone. It was their
mhm,
free speech to do it. I mean, it's gross that they would, but like it was their free speech.
yeah,
That was kind of what you were saying about the free speech, hate speech thing. It's like an interpretation of free speech because you can call it hate speech. You can call it, I don't know, you can call it anything. That's just an interpretation, though. It's just your
right,
opinion.
right. It could literally be somebody's opinion and turned into say that it was hate speech when they're just like, "I don't like tacos." "Oh, you hate Mexicans?" That's
Right,
hate speech.
right. That's a leap.
Like
That's quite the leap, friend. Like, how
it's
did you
like,
get there?
"Whoa,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
how can you
Yeah.
hate Taco Tuesday?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, I just like tacos, man. It's like, what are you trying to say? You trying to culturally appropriate,
Yeah.
Latinos? I mean, like anyone that's in a Mexican restaurant eating
Yeah.
Mexican food that's white, they're like, how dare you?
Yeah,
How
how
dare
dare
you?
you look down on these people. It's like, "You're the one saying these people."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, damn. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but for Jimmy, I don't know. I mean, I think it was probably a mix. I think, yeah, they are. Are they censoring him just for saying whatever? And he didn't even, I think he even, what I read is he initially had said, obviously, right when it happened, how tragic it was. And he said all the things. And I think later it was what, like an indirect comment sort of toward Charlie, but it was about Trump. And it wasn't
Mhm.
really, it was just
Mr.
political
T.
commentary that you do on
Yeah.
late night. They all do it.
And then he did that, and then he showed Mr. T about they asked him, "What do you think about, your friend Charlie Kirk?" It was a couple days later, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, it's too bad." And he's like, "You see that building over there?" He's like, "Yeah, they're building a ballroom. It's gonna be magnificent, great, beautiful building." It's like, oh my god. Like, okay,
So that
sorry.
he was
It was
just
just
he was just making commentary on that, and I guess that was grounds to be dismissed.
well, yeah, because I guess Mr. T's had it with he said, if late night is making fun of him 97% of the time, then that's like against it's illegal and which it's not, but
Yeah.
he doesn't like them making fun of him, so he's gonna go after those that make fun of him basically because he's like, yeah,
I mean, that's actually funny for me to think like he would say that because usually he likes all the attention. He just likes, I guess, positive attention.
I guess. Yeah. He
But
just wants
then,
people to praise
yeah,
him.
yeah,
So
yeah, it's not yeah, the line is being blurred now, right? It's just being
mhm.
blurred, and we're
What
in
is
it, and
reality now?
then yeah, we're maybe some people now are afraid to just say what they think
Right. Just
because there
one
are
big simulation.
consequences. Yeah,
Yeah. One big simulation. While we play this game, this is going on. We got all these comets coming toward towards us from no
I
we're like,
know,
"What is going on?"
right? We don't have
Yeah.
control anymore. Yeah, when we
Yeah,
have free speech and hate. It's an interesting one. I've been thinking about it for the last 2 weeks now. I've never really thought about it as much before.
cool. Because I don't know, was hate speech was, like, not even really talked about or said? I mean, like, I
That's
guess there has.
recent. That's recent, I
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think so
hate
too.
speech because I think that's been a more recent thing, which
I think it's
yeah.
always been around, but it's just been
Yeah, but
people's opinions and, like, I don't know,
I think
unless
it
they're
was people's
deliberately,
opinions. What
but
it
the
with
yeah,
the
unless
bigotry and the
right.
racism and which that racist stuff, like, personally, I think it's just being thrown around too much, where when there actually is, like, deep-seated, true hatred of another person's race, I think it's getting clouded more now because 'cause we're just throwing that race thing out too much. There is real racism, I'm not saying there isn't. I just think we might be saying that word too much, and I think it's
Mhm,
losing its meaning when
mm,
everyone's saying it all the time for
mm,
every little thing. I think it's
mm.
actually truly losing its, like, original meaning.
Maybe that's what they're, yeah, trying to do so that way it just gets blurred, like you said. They're trying to blur all the lines where it's just
There was a quote that Morgan Freeman had. This is someone that can have this quote really, and I think it was on a show. It was a black interviewer. I think it was Don Lemon. I don't want to quote this though, and it was Morgan Freeman, and they were talking
mhm,
about his rise to success in an America that's for a black man type of thing.
mhm.
And I don't know if it was from that interview or from somewhere else, but his quote, I think the interviewer asked him, like, how do we end racism? So Morgan Freeman.
Stop.
And Morgan
Mm,
Freeman said, to end racism, you stop talking about
mhm. Yeah,
it. It's
I
an
mean
interesting quote.
yeah, I kind of agree with that though, because the more you talk about it, the more you're just
Feeling
yeah,
it.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. I think that's with
And
a
for
lot of
someone
things
that's
too.
basically got to where he's got, I mean, one of the most popular actors of our lifetime, right? I mean, he's been doing this for so long.
Mhm,
And he rose to this during an arguably even harder time, right? Back in the 50s and the 60s when it was even more difficult for them to break through the glass ceiling, so to speak.
mm,
And it was interesting to hear him say that. It's like, yeah, to stop it, you stop talking about it. Like,
yeah.
stop bringing it up all the time.
Yeah, it just because you bring it up and that just triggers people and wounds that or whatever that gets brought up or things that tie to it about yeah, because it's a very charged topic or charged, not just topic, but yeah, stop talking about it.
Yeah, it's talked about, it's thrown out a lot. There was a few incidents on university campuses. I don't know if you saw any of those, similar to like the fire, people losing their jobs, but they were on like there were vigils and students that were, together that were honoring his memory. And then there
Mhm.
were other students that would walk up and start saying really, really nasty things about them doing that. And one of them was really interesting. I found this fascinating. It was forget what campus it was on. It was a group of students that were hosting, which they have the right to do that. I mean, it's free speech again, free speech. They're just like, this is how we feel, and we're hosting that. You don't have to participate, or you have to do it. This is what we're doing, right?
Mm.
And you have
Mhm.
people that this one girl came in and started just like saying really bad things about like, yeah, they got your boy, like they killed him, all this stuff, right? Terrible things to these people that were
Right.
just praying, right, over his loss, the loss of
Mhm.
Charlie. And then she comes up and she ends up being she's black and she was yelling at them and saying all these things and they were saying we're just we're just having this vigil and like we just want to be left alone and then she's this is that's I should show you the video. She said, "Stop being so hateful," is what she said to them. And that's where this and they're like, hey, and they're like, calm down is what they said. And she's like, don't tell me to calm down. You can just tell me that because I'm black. And like it
Okay, it
led to
sounds like
that.
she's the one that yeah.
It was very quick to go to that. She did get expelled, actually. This one girl did, and
Good.
yeah, but, like, the rate, like, don't bring up what
I
hasn't
yeah,
race.
I hate that. Yeah, I just yeah. Uh, I feel there are some people that, like, project things as well, because it sounds like she might have been a little hateful herself,
I think
you know,
so.
based off of
Right.
that. And
Right, I
who knows,
mean
there could have been somebody on her side that was there at the vigil just to, like, pay respect or something, you know? Maybe didn't believe in his views, but was there just to, like,
yeah. Yeah, the
pay
amount of
respect.
interviews I've seen with people that were definitely not on his side, but were just
Mm,
like, "This is a tragedy, like, this is horrible." That's a normal
yeah,
human response to be like, "Yeah, I didn't agree with the guy, but
yeah,
my god,
like a fall the full-on assassination, broad daylight, that's like
broad daylight in front of your family,
yeah,
kids, and" but yeah, there was an incident at my alma mater, actually, Texas State.
you're oh,
My
really?
school I went to, yeah, I saw the video. I know exactly where it was on campus. I walked by there. It's like a statue in the middle of
Were
campus.
were you there?
No, no, no. I was just watching
Oh,
this online. It was at the school I went to years ago.
okay, okay, well, I okay, go ahead.
Anyway, it was another incident of, yeah, they were hosting a vigil and prayer, and there were students that were gathered around doing their thing. You didn't have to be a part of it. You can walk on by if you whatever, right? But there was others that started antagonizing them. One kid started just making jokes about getting like shot, and he was like making all these like funny like yeah, and he actually pushes aside some of like I think some of the photos, they put up there, to get on the near the statue and do it in front of everyone and mock them basically. He was black, right? He was black.
Mm,
And
mm,
he also got expelled from the university, right? But those kind of things and just yeah, kind of
mm,
scary that you would do that even though you don't agree, which is fine. You have every right to not agree.
mm,
But to go and mock other people for having their own it's just their
right,
own it's pretty
that
sad.
goes for everyone. Yeah, I was recently told by somebody, um, that they went to on the East Coast college there, but they were in college and they were friends with this person and they went to school and stuff and they worked together. And this person was walking to their class. And before that, the friend I know had walked to their class like 5, maybe 10 minutes prior to this part that this other person was walking by. And when this other person was walking by, somebody in the bushes just started like shooting, had a
Oh
gun, was shooting,
no.
and actually killed that person.
Is this recent?
Not recent. This is like
Oh, years ago.
probably yeah, like
Okay.
maybe yeah,
Shit.
15, 20 years ago. And then the only reason why they were stopped is somebody saw like the gun out of the bush or something, and then they ended up jumping on that person. And it was some girl that was in the military
Oh,
and was I think she kind of lost it or something happened where she just went on campus and just started like trying to snipe people out. Isn't that
yeah,
crazy?
yeah. I mean,
And
no,
so like yeah, the
sadly,
friend I know right. Well, I
it's
mean,
not that crazy to me anymore. Just been so many shootings.
I yes. I mean,
So
yes and
sad. I mean, I'm not saying, of course, it's shocking, but like, it's just so sad that that's not that crazy anymore.
yes,
It's
it's
just
not
happened.
that shocking anymore, I know. But I will say though that the reason why it's not shocking anymore, what I believe, is because we're so desensitized and they give you the most extreme far out thing that happens that you're gonna get hooked on it, right? And then you're just gonna like it gets easier for you to digest the
Yeah.
craziness that comes in that you become more and more desensitized where it's just not crazy anymore and it's just like, oh, that's just another day.
Right, it could just be like a video game, which but
Right.
that ties into also those reactions to these, like, vigils and things, yeah, maybe people are I mean, no matter what race, I wanna be very clear on that, they just happen to be that race, but, like, no matter what it is, because we are becoming so desensitized to tragic events that people's reactions to them could be immediately celebrating or could be where, I don't know, they're just in a social media echo chamber and they want to go buy a gun and kill whoever because of whatever they've been fed. And it's like
Mm.
we're losing touch on reality here. Like
Yeah, it's a very, very sketchy path we're on right now, very
for
wobbly.
humanity, I'd say.
And then we got these aliens coming.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. The politics, the race stuff aside, the whatever for humanity, like humans. This is weird. We're getting out of touch with like our basic human
Mhm.
wants and needs of like,
Mm.
let's go toward that. Let's go back toward the basics.
Mhm. Yeah. No, I agree 100%.
Well, this one was a good one. It kind of went long.
Well, doozy,
Definitely,
yeah, it's a good
yeah,
one.
we decided to talk, I guess, more on recent stuff that's been going on because it's been a very interesting
It
time.
was I know we had to take a little break through that just because. what was going on, but we're back. Now
Yeah.
we've actually been busy, so
Well, no
yeah,
one knows
but
we
it's
ever
good to be
left.
back.
Our
That's
episodes
true.
have come out, so they have no idea. But
You're like, "Now they do."
now they do. Yeah,
If they
now
stay till the end.
all of our 4 subscribers now know the secrets behind how we bank episodes like every other podcast. The secret's out, they know.
Yeah, behind the scenes. Be a
Alright.
Patreon member, and you can see
Yeah. Yep, we could do that
you
one
won't
day.
get much content.
You won't get anything different. It'll just be supporting us, basically.
It's just a GoFundMe.
Yeah, to go fund this really elaborate operation that we have going here.
As you can tell,
Yeah, your
my
background.
backdrop.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no real backdrop today.
Couldn't get my room up, so I said,
Oh,
"Screw
yeah,
it." Yeah, it was a little bummer. I was a little disappointed with that.
you were.
I was hoping I can, like, be in my room because it's so
Your
cool.
yeah, your
My
real room.
retro my retro room with all my like, what did I have? A record on the roll and, like, a mic on the
Yes,
stand
I
and some
forget it,
books.
yeah, some sort of, like, '80s retro room, that's what it reminded me of, the
It's
colors
kinda
and the
dark and, like
it was cool, it was like a Mr. Cool podcaster guy, right?
yeah, cool
Not anymore, today it's just a dark
backdrop.
backdrop.
Dark, pole draw yeah, that's fine.
No, it'll be good. We're,
Yeah,
anyway, I would say
we're doing
overall, I
big
mean,
things.
I'm not gonna like, because I don't like to get political really at all. I think a lot of it was for me, it was just kind of on the outside looking in. That's what it felt like because I
Mhm.
haven't been connected to the politics there.
Right.
And that was the lens I was mainly seeing it through. And
Mhm.
I think it's just, yeah, it's a bit alarming of what's
Mhm.
going on all sides and all things. It's just, oof, we are just in dangerous
Mhm.
territory. Where are we going, guys? I hope we can
Right,
kind of
right.
come back to hopefully some sanity.
I know, right? Yeah, I feel like I'm kinda like that as far as because 'cause I'm not part of a side or anything, I just want the best for like, kinda what we talk about.
Human.
Right, and there's good you can pick good from, either side. So, like, I feel like I was also seeing it from more of an outside, which is and being here, being in it and everything, and then, yeah, just kinda seeing how it's all kind of shaped. But being here, it definitely can be more I can see being away is easier to
Mhm.
kinda look at it from the outside because 'cause you're not in it
Yeah,
as
it's
compared to
you're not
being
talking to people around here. Some of them know this was a global event eventually, but a lot of them they probably don't know. It's
right.
not part of their world.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I've talked to maybe a couple people about some of this, and they share the same views and stuff.
Just be try to be reasonable people, I think overall. The key word I think
I
is
think
reasonable.
yeah, I think a majority of people wanna be, yeah, just reasonable and
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense because none of this does.
Yeah. None of it does.
It just
And we
gets
also
weirder and weirder by the
what they
day.
say happened or who was behind it probably isn't. It's a
Oh,
lot
that's
of
a whole
like you
'nother
said, it's
thing.
smoke and mirrors, man. Smoke and
Yeah.
mirrors. Don't know what to believe. Don't know what to think. Don't know what I should think. Oh, what can I say? Oh, you can't. It's like now what
Mhm.
raises lots of questions.
More questions, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you and I can easily talk on this, right? In a way that is reasonable, which is kind of nice. I don't think this is everyone. There are definitely people that are reasonable. I think there are others though that you do bring this up and you don't know that
Yeah.
it can charge that person up quick on
Mhm.
whatever it might be, right? It could be the hate speech. Of course there's hate speech because or it could
Right, right.
be right, it could be, oh, the Democrats weren't behind this. Like, how dare you say, of course they were. The far left, they're crazy. And it's like it's those people that I'm like, Eesh. I'm just saying what
Mhm.
I think I might. I don't know.
Right, right. Yeah, I don't know. It's been crazy. Um, alright, well, I think we're probably good at this point. I think we've
Yeah, we are. This was a fun one,
done
everyone.
oh, yeah.
Don't come after us. We're just chilling.
Yeah, don't come after us with pitchforks now.
Yep. We're just two guys on the internet doing our best. And we hope
Yep,
the
doing our
same for
best,
you.
trying to create conversation and just, talk both sides, both just all different types of stuff, not just
Yeah.
yeah. We're trying to bring light to other things as well.
And we will. I think we're not too political, but yeah, today was a good discussion. Had to be had.
even not being too political, it still gets brought up because I mean, it's just so crazy that how can you how
I
can
think
you
I say
not
that because like,
sometimes?
it's like, yeah, it's that's so dumb you even have to label it as that. These are just events that are going on, really.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly bizarre, right?
Yeah, they are. It's you should be and back to the I guess you could call it maybe the core of it is, like, we should have the right to talk on it.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
just have the
mean,
right. It's let
yeah, keep that right
mm.
or
Oof,
left.
let's
No, I'm
keep it.
kidding. I didn't mean it like
Let
that.
no, 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 no.
I
Let's
mean,
let's try to preserve it, people. It's good to have
yes, yes,
conversations.
it
It's
is. It's
good.
healthy. It's
We're only
good.
gonna advance as humans if we continue to do that.
I agree.
Okay, until
All
next time.
right.
Bye-bye.
Until next time. Bye bye.